This is a fun part because, after all that hard work of making your resume and your LinkedIn, your cover letter story, we're going to now take your LinkedIn profile from this it's a LinkedIn profile to, yay, it's a LinkedIn profile and it looks engaging and exciting and there's a story here and a personal story and a personal brand develops. So if you've seen my other video on networking and outreach and engaging in the social media aspect of LinkedIn in a professional, non-divisive manner, you'll see that this part is going to take you to that next level and really allow you to shine, especially for those that are looking for non-professional, entrepreneurial career paths than, say, the traditional employer route. This is going to really help you shine and stand out amongst your competition when it comes to outreaching and actually beating the competition in terms of your capabilities and your technological capabilities. The good thing is it's easier than it looks, but we'll show those few little things you can do and then show my profile as an example. Brian Harmon shared this and said it's you could use this, but just remember, if you really want consulting and one-to-one assistance, reach out to Brian. He's here to help. Brian Harmon. I recommend it if that's something you need. Of course, it comes at its own cost. But this is his work. It's his reflection, so I want to give him credit for his work. In here, we see a lot of things. We see the custom URL. Remember, you should do that with minimal numbers as possible unless your name is too matchy-matchy. Here you can start adding other features, but don't worry about that. You want to customize your URL. That's where you go. You got the more section. There's a profile up there. You should be able to set your security settings. I recommend that you do that to where you're most comfortable. Don't put yourself in a position where you don't feel comfortable. That's okay. My profile is public. His is public. Everything there is nothing that I want to talk about to you in class or anywhere else. So don't worry about it. If you're not the type, that's okay. But when it comes time to looking for work, you might want to show more of this as a resume than not. But that's when it's up to you. For the purposes of this course, if you keep it narrow, that's fine. I just need to see the link so I can check it. And add me to LinkedIn if that's necessary. If you want to keep it that narrow, that's okay too. That way I can get in and actually work on your assignment. Now in here, we're looking at little things. This header in the background is customized for him. It's colorful. Mine's customized. Has a second picture of him that looks more relaxed. Here he is, professional, on a stage speaking. He does executive speeches. He did a TED Talks. We see what he does. Immediately, I get Dr. Brian, a transforming executives into leaders. And then, it looks colorful. It's very nice. In his featured section, he brings to the top immediately videos he's made. This could be your resume. This could be your intro video. You can make an intro video if that interests you. I recommend it. I had one. I have to remake it. Other things, whatever. If you have a website, if you're into content creating, the content you're creating for your marketing firm or advertising firm, if you're an influencer, the materials you affluence, I guess, or influence, whatever they may be, this could be your moment to shine. It's your featured section. It's that pop moment. In the if you want that to be at the top, you can continue, but if not, you can go right into your About section or have the featured section underneath the About section. And then here's your personal story. Parts of that shine again, but in a nice way. What are you here to deliver? Good, simple things that are easy to run. Like he says, I help high-trust leaders become great, effective leaders. He looks at desired results. If you're here to provide sales, what do? I create relationships. I build proper connections that deliver results in sales and outreach, for example. Or if I'm in accounting, I know X, Y, and Z in accounting and have done X, Y, and Z in accounting. That's important to note. Accounting is specific. So, for example, you do profit loss analysis for strategic decision makers or something, whatever. Demonstrate your empathy. That's important. He understands what people go through as a leader. Here you could say, I understand what companies struggle with their accounting books, that when they can have somebody who could make information easily readable, as an accountant, communicating is challenging, especially when it comes to those numbers. So make that like apparent. You're here to help them with something. You connect at that level. So yeah, that's what you could go into different ways. This is your world, your moment. Make it connective and something people want to read. I'll admit mine's kind of long, so I want to break it down. Experience. He's got the pictures of his company, the company he works for. In this case, it's his company. He uses colorful emojis and things like that that make it pop and colorful and easy. Use the space so when you appear in search results, they see this. You know, when they're looking and they're typing for something, this has got to populate. And then he has his recommendations. I didn't talk about it in my last video due to time. Not only receive recommendations by asking. I can give you a recommendation. If you make a B or higher in my class, I'll give you a recommendation anytime. I'm here for you. If you want to give a recommendation, I recommend giving each other recommendations to friends and people you've worked with. That shows you're a giver, not just a taker. These recommendations explain a little bit more about who you are. These are the same people that you could say are my references, you know. So for example, if I give you a recommendation or you ask for one, I'll be happy to give you one. Like I said, do well in my class. Even in an online class, you should be able to shine somehow. I should be able to know who you are. And I remember, you know, and if you have an avatar on your profile in Canvas, I remember. I do my best. So let's take a look and see how this works in my world. Here I have the background is LA Park. I love LA. I live in LA. I want to work here. Or Southern California. Or Washington. I explained where I want to work. So if I want to be in Washington State, I'm willing to relocate. I have a casual photo here. Not my favorite, but it's a good one. And then a serious photo with a clean background, clean floral background. That's okay. But be professional. No selfies, no cropped photos of you at a nightclub or partying because it seems to be the only one that you dressed well in. Put on a nice shirt yourself and make it look nice. There's no reason you can't. And your phones are so good nowadays. If you don't have one, that's good. Use a friend that has a phone. Or let, you know, our tech department, there are things available for you. So we will make sure that gets covered. There's no reason you can't get a decent photo. That one was taken with my phone. That was taken with a nice camera. So you can tell. My contact info. Very simple. Profile, address is my city. I didn't put any other details. And then my email. And a lot of information is public. So I try to keep it limited because of that. You don't want to add too much, I guess. You know, you have to be careful with your security. My about section, you can see it's my story again. And I want to condense that a little bit more. And it's time to update that anyways. So I go down to my featured section. It's my resume. My activity. I need to... Wow, I haven't said anything in the last 90 days. So clearly I need to start posting more. Your experience. Here we go. You can see in experience as an adjunct professor, I have my things here, the images of the companies I worked at. Makes it much easier. In my featured sections underneath the companies, I add links that show images. For some reason, they're not working anymore. They need to be updated. They should look like this. I work at Bloomingdale's. I got the cool Bloomingdale's sign. I got this cool picture of Bloomingdale's. Avia Reps, cool stuff. Where it used to be. Wow, that changed too. So you have to update your resume. You have to update your LinkedIn if you want to look modern and edgy. So check those. Like here, that's what I want. Those cool things. In your assignment, you have to do 2 of the 4 of these different things. Either the header or you add these little links. It's easy, it's fun, and it will make your resume shine. Experience or no experience. And then that's what I tried. You know, I have all my schools here. Also, if you look, my experience is very clear. The action verb and then what I did and the impact. I did my best to create from scratch open education resources for students so they didn't have to pay for textbooks and classes I didn't think they needed to pay for. Like, to me, that makes sense, you know. Certain things should just be available at a low cost to no cost. So that's what I'm talking about. And then, you know, I use nice, colorful bullets. I got to get up there too and do it. How do I do that? I go here. I can go to canva.com. This is in the little LinkedIn kit. The LinkedIn Builder Kit, you see these links to building canva.com to make the headers if you want. And then you could just type in LinkedIn header and it generates automatically the right size. Here, this helps make bullet points and things like that by giving you the right codes. And that way you can make those things look the way they do. Do not be intimidated by it. Just take your time and learn a new step each part of the way. For the purposes of the assignment, learn 2. And then your resume will shine, and I'll see it. And I like that. So clear-cut example of what to do for your LinkedIn. And you also have a file that shows you this. And websites to go to as well. Make this look good and make it look fun, and speak about who you are. If you're colorful like Brian is, or you're more serious like I am, to each is to their own. So that's up to you. And Brian even, gave me great advice about posting. Your first post will look kind of but your post will get better with time as you learn to write effectively, which will help you in your career. I mentioned that in the previous video. He makes videos. His videos and his earliest videos look, like comparatively to his current videos, night and day. So just practice that and enjoy that experience if that's your thing. And good luck with it. And let me know if you have any questions.